All content is publicly sourced and used under the USA Fair Use and UK Fair Dealing Guidelines. The things I say are strictly my opinion. Hello again, you guys. It's the Bizzy Bee with the Royal Tea. I hope you're all having a great Friday, July the 3rd. Before I get into it today, I just wanted to ask you guys something. Please leave it in the comments below. But a couple of my viewers suggested that I wait until the book is released in the USA on July the 25th before I start doing a review of it. So I just wanted to ask you what you guys think. Do you want me to wait till it's released later this month before I discuss it any further, or do you guys want me to keep going? Because today I'm going to do the second part of chapter 1, and then I'm going to stop until after the book comes out. So let me know what you guys want me to do, and that's what I'll do. Alright, before I dive into Lady C's book, I want to say I'm thinking about doing a live stream, and I know what you guys are thinking, but Bizzy Bee, you don't show your face. How are you going to do a live stream? We don't want to look at a blank screen. Well, you guys, I am going to show myself if I do a live stream. If I do it, it'll probably be within the next couple of weeks, one afternoon when I get off work. I'll keep you guys posted, but please leave it in the comments below what you want me to do about reviewing the book, and if you would like to see me do a live stream. If I do, we can discuss the book, Harry and Meghan, or the royal family, or whatever you guys want to talk about. Just let me know. Alright, so let's get into the book. Alright, like I said, I'm doing the second part of chapter 1. So let's see what it has to say. The book where I left off yesterday, it was talking about the demands Meghan made because of the wedding, the sin of St. George's Chapel. She wanted her favorite perfume sprayed in it, trying to get Eugenie's emerald tiara that she had chosen for her wedding, and then yelling at the member of the staff over a certain ingredient being in a dish that she banned. So really just horrible behavior on Meghan's part. But before the marriage, the book says, the rumblings about Meghan and Harry's behavior had already begun, and they were rubbing people the wrong way. The royal family hoped that things would settle down once the two married. They hoped that Meghan would dampen her California ways, and that Harry, who was rapidly alienating admirers and gaining a well-earned reputation for throwing his weight around in a completely unacceptable manner, they hoped that he would revert to the right-on, lovable bloke he had been up until then. No one foresaw that Meghan and Harry were on a roll, that they would spark each other to ever greater heights, that they would not buckle to any opposition, that they regarded those who stood in their way as needlessly obstructive, and that if they did not get their way, they would decamp. And boy, you guys, decamp they did. They made a big scene, didn't they, this past January? The book goes on to say, once it became apparent that Harry was determined to marry her, the whole royal family and the court fell into line. Meghan's virtues were focused upon, not only in terms of her undoubted intelligence and determination, but also her sweetness of manner, her charm, vivacity, sense of humor, and last but by no means least, her heritage. Alright, before we go any further, just let me pick apart this sentence for a moment. The palace had to search, the palace looked to find Meghan's virtues that they could extol. Well, boy, you guys, they must have had to look really hard to find those virtues. It would be like looking for a small needle and 20 tons of hay. It would be a very hard search. But they did manage to come up with something. And Meghan's intelligence and determination, it says it as undoubted, and that is very correct. I never doubted Meghan's intelligence. She is a very smart woman. She knew what she wanted, and she went after it. She got Harry. She got into the British royal family. She became the most talked about woman in the world, and which is exactly what she wanted. She might not be talked about in a good way, but she's talked about. So, the last but by no means least, her heritage. The book goes on to say, what sealed things in her favor was her ancestry. Not only was she an American, and a well-educated one with a patina of sophistication, but she was also a woman of color. The Queen, who is well known to be a wit, said to a friend, quote, Mr. Corbin will find it much more difficult to get rid of us now that Meghan is in the family, unquote. Meghan's biracial identity made the monarchy both reflective and representative of multicultural, multiracial Britain in a way that a white 37-year-old California-born actress who had been a cast member of a popular television series could never have been. So you guys, the book is basically saying that if Meghan had not had those African American roots and she'd had the past that she had, the wedding never would have happened. She never would have been allowed in. But because Meghan was half African American, she was allowed in. Past be darned. Welcome her into the family. They didn't exactly roll out the red carpet, but she was welcomed into the family. And the book goes on to say that Meghan's inclusion in the British royal family itself would send out a positive message which would not only play well in Britain, but also in the Commonwealth. Practically everyone welcomed the marriage, mostly on racial grounds, and no one at court wanted the behind-the-scenes difficulties to leak out lest they colored the public's opinion and acceptance of Meghan. Well, boy, you guys, the story sure got out, and everyone knows how difficult Meghan is now. And I hope that when the book comes out, everybody goes and buys it, and we all see the truth and the light about Meghan. Let's read a few comments from the last video, part 1 of chapter 1 of the book. McGregor Mathers says, I think all she wanted was to be a princess and stupidly thought marrying a princess would get her there. Marrying a prince, I guess. She's delusional to think she was worthy enough to be a princess, and her name sounds ridiculous. It's not even a princess's name. I had a Doberman called Meghan. She was far more ladylike, beautiful, and graceful than Rachel Markle. Well, I believe that a Doberman would be far more ladylike, beautiful, and graceful than Meghan. Just about anything would. Heidi says, Meghan is no different than any other so-called celebs in American society who are famous for being famous. There are numerous women out there that young girls and young women look up to for no good reason except fame. It's sad, really, that our daughters are not looking up to women of real accomplishments. That's right, Meghan has no real accomplishments. Conning, grifting, squatting in someone else's house, that's not an accomplishment. Pip Precious says, in the UK, we have a saying, you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. And I responded, hopefully Harry will set this frog aside and keep looking. Sylvia says, MM herself wears bras from Kmart. They are so unfit. They show big time. Meghan wears bras from Kmart. Good one. Wanda Kelly says, sorry, may I correct you? The tiara that Meghan wanted was an emerald drop tiara, is only ever worn by the Queen, so it was not the one Eugenie was going to wear. And you see how I responded. I was just reading what Lady C wrote in the book. If it was not the same tiara, then why was almost a whole chapter dedicated to Meghan wanting the emerald tiara Eugenie had also chosen? If it was not true, I doubt so much space in the book would be dedicated to this subject. Christina Bacon says, oh, Miss Bacon, I like your name. It is never right to speak to any member of staff in such an ill-bred manner, no matter who you are. That's MM for you. No class, no idea, no manners, no good. You're exactly right, Ms. Bacon. She's no good. She has all the no's. BB Veritas says, I hope Harry likes the way Doria aged, because M looks just like her. Ugh. Celine says, MM wanted a vegan dish and insisted she tasted egg. She shouted at the Queen's chef. The Queen pulled her aside and said, we don't speak to staff like this in this family. There were so many flowers to mask the musty smell anyway. It was said that spray was used and the Queen detected the smell, hence the long face at the wedding. So they said, love your channel. Oh, thank you, Celine, you're too sweet. And I heard that she wore Princess Diana's favorite perfume on her first date with Harry. All those mind games that she has. See, I told you that she was very clever. Honey1AU says, that wedding dress looked like a bloody bright white sheet. Meghan wearing a white sheet at her wedding? She did not look good on her wedding day with that olive oil greasy bun. She could have done something else with it on that day. And her makeup was not worthy of a bride's wedding day. Kate and Eugenie did the most lovely curtsies to the Queen. All MM did was show herself up as terribly ill-mannered. Just saying. Naomi says, it's people of color, not colored people. I said, I realize that, but I was quoting someone word for word. I am not going to misquote someone. And if you saw that last video I posted, I was reading from quotes from an interview that Lady C gave, and Lady C used the term colored people. So I quoted her word for word like she said it in the interview on This Morning with Philip and Holly. And English responded, what's the difference? I responded, let me just ask what the difference is. Either way you say it, you are using the adjective color or colored to describe the noun people. Seems exactly the same to me. Please explain the difference, Naomi. It is simply two ways of saying the same thing. Just one has an extra word in it. Pretty Little Dancer says, sugars are drawn from Africa and paid. I said, so that is what they're doing with Daddy Charles's money. She wanted the church to smell like Soho House, like a brothel then. Yes, Catherine, she loves the brothel smell. It's what she is used to, her old job. Yeah, it will be president of the yacht club because that's about the only presidency that the snake will ever get. President of the escort service, I said. Harry's an idiot, clinging to a malignant narcissist. The big problem with is she's constantly searching for two things, work ethic and relevance, and she never seems to find any. She'll be searching forever. She'll never come across it. So what have we learned today, you guys? Bizzy Bee is going live. A face made for radio is coming to your TV. Number 2, Meg rubs on a whole lot of people. Unfortunately, it is in all the wrong ways. Number 3, the royal family managed to find a virtue or two in Meghan. Number 4, if Meghan had been a never-was washed-up 45-year-old white woman, the wedding never would have taken place. 5th thing we learned, Meghan the Doberman is more ladylike and graceful than Meghan the escort-turned-duchess. 6th thing we learned, Just Harry needs to set aside this frog and pucker up if he wants to find his prince. Number 7, mooching Meg is just like her undergarments, cheap and straight off the Kmart clearance rack. Number 8, Meghan is the queen of no. No class, no idea, no manners, and no darn good. Number 9, Meghan has had an egg since Number 9, Meghan has had an egg inside her since marrying half-wit Harry. She ate one at the wedding. Number 10, strong black woman Meghan proudly wore a white sheet when she married her third white husband. What? Number 11, the stanky brothel smell is all the rage at weddings this season. Alright, you guys. I've had a few people ask me if I have a P.O. box so they can send my dogs treats and toys or to send me something. And so, you guys, I went and got one today. And if you would like to send me love notes, tokens of appreciation, trinkets, or toys and treats for my 4 dogs, here is my P.O. box. It's Bizzy Bee, P.O. Box 1030, Stevens City, Virginia, 22655. And you see a picture of my 4 dogs here. Valerie in the top left corner, Edward in the bottom left, Gemma in the top right, Myrtle in the bottom right. So once again, there's my P.O. box if you want to send treats or toys or whatever. If you like what I do, you want to buy me some greenery to ensure that I remain entertaining, witty, charismatic, and charming, my PayPal info is right here, BizzyBees, BEES, Royaltea, TEA, @gmail.com. Thank you in advance. I appreciate it. Here's my tweet information if you want to tweet me, you guys. And finally, thank you for watching. please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification button. Also, please tell your friends about me. I truly appreciate you watching. Oh, and look, Leanne just said you were too funny. Just found your channel. Oh, thank you, Luann. I appreciate you. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to let me know if you want me to keep going with Lady C's book or wait till after it's released in America on July 25th, and let me know if you want me to do a live stream. All right, thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day, and a happy 4th. Bye-bye.